Hey guys, Fox here with a set 8 deck profile for you guys today. For those of you guys who know me, you guys already know which one I was going to come at you guys with first. My one true love, or I guess you could say one of my true loves. For those of you who know me a long time know I extremely love Ezel. Was the first deck I ever built and loved. And then after that, my other passion has always been Minerva. The deck I've loved and played the longest besides Ezel. So without further ado, we'll get into it. There is one card I'm still missing that I'm waiting to come from TCG Player. I did have one copy of it that I traded for from a friend, but he was borrowing a deck for a deck profile and was in that deck box. When I come to it, I'll let you know what it is. But I want to get the deck profile out to you guys as quickly as possible. So hopefully you guys will bear with me in that aspect. So for the ride line, we have Minerva herself. So for her skill, during your turn, if your soul has a grade 3 with Regalia in its card name, all of your front row units get 5,000 power. And then she has an act ability once per turn. You can counterblast one, or not counterblast, soul blast one. Look at the top card of your deck and put it on top of your deck or into your soul. So it's like a pseudo Hexa Orb. Similar, but I really like it. So it allows you to kind of get that old Genesis ability from G era. It's really nice. Helps fuel your soul for your restand. Allows you to know what's on top. And really just adds extra pressure. Really great. You know, have that premonition power. And then obviously her main ability, which is the strongest, and you know, throw back to her original ability. Once per turn on the Vanguard circle at the end of the battle that she attacked, if your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, you can counterblast one and soul blast 3, discard a card with only Genesis for its clan from your hand, stand this unit, and it gets drive -1 until the end of turn. So really amazing. I feel like she did get a really great treatment. Really happy with her skill. And then obviously she does have the Genesis clan and then the Keter Sanctuary as well. So then moving on for the grade 2 of the ride line, we are running Witch of Ravens Chamomile. So as you'll notice, most of every card in this deck does have Genesis and Keter Sanctuary. You want to max out. We do run every card that has Genesis in it from the set because as we were reading earlier in Minerva's skill, you do have to discard a Genesis for her cost. So for Chamomile skill, when it's wrote upon by a unit with Genesis for its clan, with only Genesis for its clan, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards from among them, put them into your soul and shuffle your deck. And then when this card is put from your soul and your drop during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Minerva in its card name, you can counterblast one and call it to rearguard circle. So it's really nice, helps you get extra attacks, helps you build back up your resources, or your rearguards rather, against your retired decks. So really nice in that aspect. Really good. You know, so it kept the same skill as the old Chamomile, but we also do have the ride line ability, which is really nice. It helps fuel the soul. And then Witch of Frogs Melissa, her ability is when it is wrote upon by a unit with only Genesis, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards from among them, put them in your soul and shuffle your deck. So similar to Chamomile. And then when this card is put into the drop zone from your soul, if you have a Vanguard with Minerva in its card name, call this card to a back row rearguard circle. If you called it, you may soul charge 1, and you don't have to soul charge 1. So like if you do Minerva's ability to check the top card of your deck by soul blasting 1, if it's a trigger on top, you do not have to soul charge. It's a may soul charge 1. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, if you have like the over trigger on top, you don't want to soul charge it. Was play testing the deck a couple times against Andy, and it did come up a lot of times where I did have a trigger on top. So you don't always have to soul charge with that second ability. And then, you know, Vivid Rabbit, you know, same ability as all the other starters from D format. If you want second, draw a card. So moving on to the other grade 3s, running 3 more Minerva, obviously to max out our Persona ride, and then 4 Regalia of Wisdom Angelica, the OG from the trial deck, the first Genesis unit that we got. Really amazing ability. So on rearguard circle at the end of the battle that this unit attacked, if you have a Vanguard with Minerva in its card name, you can Soul Blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 5,000 till the end of the turn. And then you can put this unit into your soul, and you countercharge 1. So it's really cool. There's a nice interaction with Chamomile or even your Melissa, where you get an extra attack off because you could choose the order, obviously, in Vanguard. So you attack with your Angelica first on your rearguard circle. Let's say you have your Chamomile in Soul. You will put her in Soul. Say this is your Counterblast. You put her in Soul. You give your Vanguard the 5k. You will get your counter charge. Obviously, you have to Soul Blast for the ability. And then you choose to use Chamobile's ability to Counterblast 1. Call her to Rearguard Circle. And now you have that extra attacker. So really nice. Also helps, it replaces itself from the Soul Blast for its own ability. So it's really not too bad at all. And then moving on to the grade 2s. We have new oversleeves on the deck. Do have the Minerva sleeves on there as well. We maxed out on 4 of the orders, just because there's not a lot for the deck because it's the first wave of support. 4 Wisdom of Beginning that cleared the world. You play it with Counterblast 1. The wording on this card is terrible. Draw 2 cards, and then you choose 2 cards from your hand, call them the rearguard circle if the grade of each of them is less than or equal to your Vanguard, and discard them if not. So it's some nice draw power, helps you cycle into the deck. And then we are running 3 more Chamomile. Like I said, you want to max out on your Genesis units for your Minerva discards. And then this is the card I was talking about earlier. Would be running 4 Drilling Angel, have it coming from TCG Player. I already have 1 and I have the other 3 coming. It's really nice. It helps you build up the soul and the ability basically of Drilling Angel, for those of you who don't know, is you can put a unit from your drop zone into your soul and then check the top 3 for the unit that you put from your drop zone into your soul. If it's among them, you can call it the rearguard circle and then shuffle your deck. So it's really nice to put like an Angelica into your soul or another Minerva because you need that other grade 3 to get the 5k to your front row. Or even you can put your Melissas and your Chamomiles to call to get your extra attacks in. So it's just a really nice card in the deck. So yeah, really good card, and also helps fuel the soul for Minerva's ability. So really good card. So would recommend running it in the deck. And then moving on to grade 1s, we're running 4. Palladium Zeal Dragon, just the perfect card that you don't have to discard if you have 2 or less cards in hand. 3 more Melissa, and then 4 Apple Witch Cider, another Genesis unit. This one says at the end of the battle that this unit boosted, if you have a Vanguard with Minerva in its card name, you may return this unit to your hand. And then when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, if you have a grade 3 with Regalia in your soul, it basically gets 5k shield. So it's a 10k shield, which is really nice. It gives you some extra shield power in the deck, which is pretty cool. Doesn't give you the soul charge that the old Cider did. Then moving on to triggers, we're running 1 of the Keter over trigger, obviously. 4 of the effect crit, because you do need the soul charge occasionally in the deck for the Minerva restands. 8 crit overall. 3 effect draws. And then we're running 4 heals, 2 of the crit effect heals, because I feel like that's the better one in my opinion. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I feel like the deck is pretty decent. Hoping we do get a few more waves of support. But really enjoying the deck so far. Might try a Gradiel out in the deck, just maybe 1 or 2, just to see how that works. But yeah, beyond that, like I said, do feel like the deck is very strong. Probably one of the better of the revivals that we got out of this set. This and Luquia, I definitely think, are the stronger of the two. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Look forward to some more deck profiles this week, and we'll see you guys next time.